Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary Owen, and my guest this week is an old friend of mine, David Arnold, was a little afraid to come in studio because he's got a
David A.
Netflix.
Arnold.
David A. Arnold, my fault. He was scared to come in studio because he doesn't want to catch COVID because he's getting ready to film a Netflix special. And I just wanted to reassure him I got a test just in case, just to reassure you through the camera that I'm negative. I got this rapid test for you, David.
I'm glad you tell me that now. So now I'm comfortable talking to you via satellite with that test in your hand. Because if you didn't have it, I would have hung up on you right now.
I'm just playing
I'm not taking no chances.
There's new variants every day. There's new variants every day.
This is the Wi-Fi variant where people catching it on Zoom now.
This is the Mars Zoom. So it's funny because I woke up this morning and I had a little sore throat, and you just automatically go to COVID, and you don't take into account. I filmed 3 episodes yesterday. I just got off the road. I was like, just got a little hoarse voice, so I played it safe, and I got the medicine ball from Starbucks. So I feel good about the interview.
Good.
Right now.
Good. I'm actually very excited to be here. When you called me and told me or texted me and asked me, I was like, you want me to come on again? So of course my first thought is, how many people canceled on him before he got down to my name? That's always the first thought.
No, I'm not Kevin Hart. Not Kevin Hart.
Not Kevin Hart. Scruncho said no, and then you called me.
No, I heard what you said about that was funny. You did an Instagram post, and Kevin has the Comedy Gold Mines, his podcast now.
Yes.
And what did he tell you? He goes, I get a big name guest, and then I get a no name guest, and then a big name guest. He goes, so Dave, I got to get the big name guest in before I get you on.
Yes.
Now, do you appreciate the honesty? Or you're like, hey, man.
I do. And I haven't heard from him since. And the people that I've seen him with, I'm like, that ain't better. So,
well,
that ain't better.
David, better doesn't always mean popular doesn't always mean better. We all know that.
Trust me, I've learned. You 100, dude. I've learned it. And you know what's so funny is Kevin and I would talk about the podcast. We talked about it so many times, and then I just let it go. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep doing the work. He'll call one day.
Yeah, did you do it?
Not yet. I'm not yet. I will probably after this special, but because he's also executive producer on this. But
when are you recording your Netflix special?
In 2 weeks, January 29th, Saturday.
January 29th, and do you have a title for it?
It ain't for the week.
It ain't for the week.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been really pumping that on social media.
Yeah, that's the name of the tour. Yeah, it ain't for the week. It's a theme behind the whole set, is what the theme of it is. And I've been doing it. I've been out on the road since July, literally like every other weekend since July. So I've done about 20 cities, up until we get ready to go here in Cleveland. I did cancel this weekend. I was supposed to be in DC. I postponed it till after the special just because I didn't want to take no chance, because if I get sick, they shut it down. Right. You know what I mean? And if they shut it down, the theater that I'm doing it at in Cleveland, Ohio, I'm doing it at the Hannah Theater in Cleveland, Ohio, that is not available again until August. You know what I mean? So it's
wow.
Yes. So I've been working for 6 months to get this thing on its feet, and I'm not going to fuck it up. You know what I mean? By doing that DC.
That's a sign. That's a side of the business that people don't realize, is you saying that if you don't get it in this theater, and usually when you're doing a special, like whoever the producers or networks that are doing it, they'll give you options. They'll ask your input. Where haven't you been? Where would you like to film it? Let's see if we can find a theater that's going to look good on camera. A lot goes into it. So the fact that you find a theater, and then you're like, wait a minute, if we don't get it, I can't film it there again until August. Like, people don't know that side of the business.
They don't, because it's so much. Dude, the meetings and the conversations I've had about this theater and doing this, and it's unbelievable. It's literally crazy how much work goes into something that has nothing to do with the comedy.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, sometimes you got to take a step back, and I don't know if you go through this, but when you do a special, like you're caught up in the wardrobe and everything else. And I'm going, look, if they're noticing my outfit, my special
Yeah.
sucked.
That's what I said.
Unless you're doing a Eddie Murphy leather, red
Right.
or blue, but
But here's another thing about that though. That was the thing to do in the 80s and 90s. Because I also know people who've done specials in these outfits, and you only remember the outfit because the outfit was better than the jokes. And it's like, because I went through this whole conversation about who's going to, I have this whole conversation about who's going to be my stylist and dress me because Lena Waithe is also one of the executive producers, her and Kevin Hart. You know what I'm saying? And they were talking to me about who's going to dress you and yada yada. I have somebody and I have ideas, but there was a lot of conversation. And I said the same thing you said. Listen, I'm going to wear what I'm comfortable wearing. It's going to be fly. But I'm focused on the jokes. It does. If you put me in a Gucci outfit or a Tom Ford this or that, if the stand up is ass, nobody's going to watch it because I'm wearing Tom Ford.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
If when you watch my specials, I think
Yes.
all of them I'm in black. There's one
Yes.
I had a gray outfit on, but everything else,
Yes.
I'll find a black shirt, black pants, whether it's slacks or jeans. Black,
Yes,
I'll find
exactly.
it. That's all I go with. And it's funny because, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was saying, I get that because you're more about the work. You're like, just let me put, this is another thing. When you look at Eddie Murphy's outfit, which was fire, it was the 80s.
Yeah.
When you look at Steve Harvey's outfit, it was great there, but it was the 90s.
Yep.
I want to be in something that's timeless. So you can look at it, and the only way you know this was a long time ago is because I'm older or younger than. But the outfit is not stamped in time.
Now, obviously, with your special coming, are you going to have the backdrop? Is it David Arnold? Is it It Ain't for the
80s.
Week?
None of it. It's a classic. None of that's on the background. That's like an 80s set too.
What are you going to have? Just a curtain?
It's curtains, but it's got these panels that's got these lights on them. And the panels, you know how theaters have if you remove the curtain, the stage back there is very deep.
Yeah.
It's panels that come from the front. They go all the way back to a V in the far back of it, which is a wall that flies away. Like it'll be a transparent wall. So when they introduce me, the silhouette, like Eddie Murphy and Raw did, comes up, the spotlight hits it, and then the wall flies away, and I come out up the middle of this V, if you will. And then they got these dope curtains. The guys the set designer is the same guy that did all of Kevin Hart's specials. He did all of his stuff. And he's doing mine. So he's come up with some really dope stuff. And it's a beautiful theater, and I'm doing that. The Hannah Theater in Cleveland.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
I know you're from Cleveland, but I don't know where that's at. Where's that at?
Small, downtown at Playhouse Square, where all the theaters are.
Right,
It's literally downtown. It's a 550-seat theater. It's so intimate with a balcony and two box seats on each side. And it's so dope. But it's one of those theaters that it's the perfect size, the way it's set up. And it's bigger than what I did before. Because last time I did my stand-up, Fat Ballerina was done at the Improv in Cleveland. And I just dropped a curtain in front of the wall that said Improv and packed that house out and did it. So now we go into a bigger, more classy venue. I wanted to do this last one in Cleveland because I feel like now I've given my hometown the respect and, spotlight due. And I can move on because I don't want to do any more in my hometown. I want to go. And the next one I want to do is going to be in New York at Radio City Music Hall.
Well, when you talk about your hometown, one of the funniest videos you made, you make a lot of funny videos, but the funniest one, and I texted you, is last year when the Browns won a playoff game, and you're sitting there dancing all over, and I'm going, "What's that feel like? What's that feel like, David?"
I 100% have to dance every chance I get because I know it's only but a matter of time before they fall apart and die. So I try to celebrate every win like it's the Super Bowl because I'm never going to feel it ever.
You don't think I thought I was right there with you until we got Joe Burrow. You get the right quarterback, it changes everything.
Well, I thought he was good until we started losing all these players. You know what I mean?
Baker? Baker Mayfield? I think he's good.
Exactly.
I don't think he's like a franchise changer. Like
I
an Aaron
I
Rodgers, Tom Brady, Joe Burrow.
well,
Like, it
no,
changes the
you
culture.
don't. I don't think you don't get many of them anyway. Nobody, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like of all the teams that's playing, how many people got that? You know what I mean? Like
No,
5. It ain't a
I know
lot. Yeah, the
we got
Bengals. We'll
one.
see. We'll
We
see.
got
We're gonna
one.
see.
I'm just saying
You've
we
been.
got one.
You know why you know why your journey is more painful than mine? Because y'all
What's that?
almost good. You get close and then die. My hope is shattered early so I can sleep at night. You got to white knuckle through a whole season to eventually end up where I am. So I just be looking at you, going, look at poor Gary. He in the locker room, and that's worse. They didn't let you into the organization. You in the
Right.
locker room on the field. You get to feel that shit up close and painful. So I'm like, oh my God, this gotta
I
be rough.
text I text the head coach about every week.
That's so funny
Like,
to me. That's so funny to me.
like that's
I don't need that kind of access. I would be cussing their ass out.
nah, not me. Not me. I'm the ultimate optimist when it comes to the Bengals. The ultimate.
Yes.
So
Yes,
when
I know.
I noticed like we've known each other for 20 some years, but
Yes.
over the last 6 months, you've
Yes.
really been on the road. Did you say more than the rest of your life?
More than ever. More
So it
than
was
ever.
every weekend, every club. Was that on purpose to get ready for the special, or it just
Yes.
lined up? Okay.
It was 100%. It was 100% to get ready for this special. And this is what's funny. I've been doing stand-up for 27 years. This is the first time that I've been on a tour like this, where I've been out consistently. Because for the last 12 years, I've been writing and producing television. I have a TV show on Nickelodeon that I created right now, which just got picked up, was about to get picked up for a second season. It's #1 on the network called That Girl Lele. I wrote and created the show. I'm the sole creator of the show and showrunner. Did it with Will Packer. So I've been doing that. I've been writing on other TV shows. So I've been focused and I've been splitting my time between doing a TV producer and going to do stand-up when I can. You know what I mean? Like I would go out and do dates here and there, but never this consistent and never with a goal, an end game in mind, which is I'm about to film my second Netflix special. You know what I'm saying? So this has been a new experience and it's been great, man. Like the thing for me that I'm getting used to, which you've experienced before already, is going to comedy clubs and selling out, and everybody in there bought tickets to see me.
Yeah.
And the club, like, no comps.
Yeah.
Like, I talked to Joe Coy. Joe Coy was like, man, I'd rather play for 18 people who paid than 180 that didn't. And I said, wow. And I adapted that, and I told my agents when we first started this, and they were like, okay. I mean, it could be light some days. I said, I don't care. I've been doing this a long time. I got a Netflix special out. It's done really well. And the combination of Fat Ballerina and my social media kind of met together and it just created this thing, dude. And like before, I do 5 shows a week. And before I get to town, 99% of the time, 2 of the 5 are sold out. By the time I'm done, I finished with 4 of the 5 sold out every weekend. And it blows me away every time. I'm still as shocked.
Well, it's funny because as comedians, when people don't know the business, they'll say, hey, how you deal with hecklers? And I'll be like, look, when people start paying to see you, you don't get heckled like that no more. It's the free tickets, it's the bars, when we first started is when you get all the hecklers. I go, when people pay money to see you, they're paying to see you. They want to know what you're saying. They want to know what David A. Arnold's got to say. They don't want to hear somebody in the audience. If you get a heckler, most of the time it's alcohol induced, and it's the audience will get on the heckler more than at least I've experienced. The audience will get on the heckler more than me.
That's right, because they pay to see you.
Right, they're not paying to hear somebody else talk. The guy from UPS.
Right, because they don't. It's somebody who's basically heckling is coming from hate anyway, most of the time.
Yeah, exactly. Now, one thing I've enjoyed on your social media is your hotel experiences. Like you really break down the hotels, and when you're on the road, like I've been, I know the hotel you're at. I'm like this. I'm looking at you like this. Oh, that's the Hilton.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yes.
the I know right where that's at.
Yes. Yes. This
Because
is
a
what
lot of
I've
comedy
discovered.
clubs use the same. They use the same hotels.
This is what I've discovered about me, Gary, which I did not know because I'm out on tour like I've not been before. I am, and this is because I'm also not 30. You know, when you was 30, be like, oh, the Red Roof Inn, I'm telling jokes. I don't care.
Oh
Hey,
man.
yay, right? And this is a great thing about the way I've been set up to do this as well. Because, and I said this to my agents, because I am not solely dependent on my income from stand up and I make a great living as a television producer, I can move a little bit differently in the stand up world. I don't have
Hmm.
to stay at if they're putting us up at the Fairfield Inn, I don't have to be there. I can go
Right.
give me the $500 payout or whatever they offer me, and I'm going to the Kimpton or I'm going to the Four Seasons, wherever I want to go. I can go
Hmm.
if I choose
Yeah.
to do that. I exercise that right almost every weekend because
I've
most of the time they're where they're offering ain't even. I'm not even having that conversation. So I'm like, just
but
give me the buyout. I'll do it myself.
and just so people know that it doesn't make you bougie. It doesn't make you, oh, you're better than. What it is when you're in any line of work, when you work
Yeah.
somewhere for so long and you grind for so long, this is your reward to yourself. Like, I don't ever feel guilty
Yes.
about staying at a nice hotel and telling
Yeah.
people
No.
I'm not staying there. Like you said, 1920, I don't care where I'm staying. I'm so happy to be on the road. I don't care.
Yes. I
I've
can't
been doing
believe
this
they're
long
coming to see
enough.
me.
Right. And also you have a decent house, you know? It's
Yes.
like if I'm leaving
Yes.
my house where I'm comfortable, I want to go somewhere and stay where I'm gonna be comfortable. I had a
Yes.
I had an opener one time. I'll give you an example. I had an opener one time. He got in the day before me. And I said, dude, why'd you get in the day before me? He goes, I got the dates mixed up, man. So he put himself at like some $50 shithole hotel by the airport. So when I called
Yes.
him the next morning, I said, hey, man, I land around noon. Come scoop me from the airport. And then we go to
Yes.
the hotel we're staying at, right?
Yes.
He's all down. He goes, man, I said, what's wrong? He goes, this hotel, man, it's just complaining. I go, why wouldn't you just spend another $100 and stay at a Courtyard Marriott or a Embassy Suites or something? I said, look
Right.
at your vibe right now. It's off. I said, but the problem is that's what you think you deserve. You
Yeah, you
think
don't
you
think he's
deserve a
right.
shithole hotel. I said,
Yeah.
spend extra money and you'll never miss it. And you spent $50. If you would spend $150 a year from now,
Yeah.
you're not going to miss
Yeah.
that extra $100 that you spent at
No.
the nicer
And
hotel.
I won't do it, dude. I promise you. I said this before. I said this to my agents. I said this to everybody involved in this tour. And this is another thing, Gary. I go on the road with a team. I've never had a team. My assistant
Mm.
and my road manager is with me. He sells my merchandise. She runs my schedule. She gets the car. She drives. All this stuff that I've never had because I said this. If I'm going to do this tour, which is already, you know this and people don't understand it. It's a physical effort to go out
Hmm.
and do 5 shows a week. And I don't know how much time you do. I'm assuming it's the same with me. I do an hour and 20 minutes every show. That's my
Yep.
normal set.
You have to give the people
And
their money's worth.
you
Yeah.
got to give the people their money. I got to the point where I got rid of the MC. I don't need an
Me
MC. I
too.
get a host that can
Me
do
too.
25 minutes, go up, welcome them, do your thing. And I got this because I got shit I'm working on and I'm
Yeah.
trying to get ready. I'm focused. So it's a physical effort to do this. I want to be comfortable. When I fly first class everywhere I go. I'm never not going
Hmm.
to do it. I will take
Hmm.
whatever they have because I've been doing this for so long. I deserve it and I'm worth it. It's like I just got used to being comfortable telling people they're like, "Oh, I'm in Cleveland. When you coming to Dayton?" Man, fuck Dayton. I'm in Cleveland. Get in the car and drive.
Yeah.
Like I've had people, dude, this is what, and I'm sure you experienced this. This is what blows me away. People now, because I talk to my fans on social media, I'm very interactive with my fans, right? and I go live and I talk, and I tell them this all the time. This is what I need you to do. I say to them, I need you to, first of all, when you come to the show, I need you to bring 3 people that's never heard of me and is going to complain in the car all the way to the club that I better be funny. I need you to do that because that helps me expand my knowledge amongst people. Secondly, you get in the car and drive. If you can get to me, if I'm within 2 hours of you, there ain't no reason. If I'm not good enough for you to drive 2 hours, then I ain't good enough. And that I will do the work to get better. So when you live in Boise, Idaho, you got a better chance of coming out of some of these cities and coming to me. Because that's just right. Dude, I'm blown away by people who go, oh, I flew in from Alaska. Oh, we flew from Hawaii. Oh, we just came in from California to come see you in DC. I'm like, what? I was in Seattle, but that didn't work for people. It makes me realize that what I'm doing is worth it. And I didn't have that belief in myself, man. I didn't have that belief. I was like, yeah, it is 30 minutes away. I guess that's a long, but this business will make you feel like, will marginalize you and make you feel like you're not. You know what I mean? Like makes you feel like you're not. And then when you get out there and you get to meet people and you see people I've never walked on stage to a standing ovation in my life until now. And I'm like, I don't even know what to do with it. It's uncomfortable to me, actually.
Yeah, it really is.
Like, it's very uncomfortable. And the standing ovation. This is what Rodney Perry said to me. I was in Atlanta and Rodney was nice enough to come and work with me in Atlanta at the Atlanta Comedy Theater. And he said to me, why do you rush off stage after you say goodnight? He said, these people are standing up because I got standing ovation every night. You know the same thing, you get them. And he's like, you're rushing off stage. I was like, it's just so uncomfortable just standing there. It makes me feel like me standing there is going, hey, everybody, I'm standing here. Stand up and look at me and acknowledge me. That's what I've said was and that's how I felt. And then he told me, he said, you're robbing them of that moment to tell you how much they appreciate the work you did. And I looked at it differently. And I went, wow. I didn't want it to make it look, because I've seen comedians, I know you've seen this before, comedians who stand there, and you can tell they're waiting for the room to stand up. I've even heard comedians go, thank you for standing. Like as a way to let them know. And I just don't want to be that dude. So I've had to learn to accept it.
But I mean, look at it like you just said. We're both sports fans, so I'll give you a sports analogy on this. Just have them standing up right when you walk out is the equivalent of running the kickoff back. Like the next kickoff, you're like this. The guy just ran it back.
Yes.
And those moments in sports when like a team goes to the playoffs or they win the Super Bowl or stuff, I always enjoy it when you see the guys run around the stadium high-fiving the fans when they go to the playoffs or they win the division. Or they look for their wives and kids and they just soak up the moment. I love moments like that. And that's basically what Ronnie was saying. And I never looked at it like that. Like you're robbing the fans of that moment also. Because I'm with you. I used to rush off stage. And it's still a little awkward to say goodnight, but especially when you film your special, man. And you know this, but take that moment when you're done and soak it in. And you're not being arrogant. You're not being cocky. You're like, this was 6 months of hard work. These are people that is now sharing in my work, and soak it in. Take a moment for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yes, I agree. And what I do now to stay on the stage and let it happen when it does happen, don't happen every night, but when it does, I put the mic in the stand, I go to the right side of the stage and I salute the audience. Then I walk across to the other side of the stage and I salute the audience. I come back to the middle and I wave one more time and then I leave. It gives me an active thing to do so it doesn't look like I'm just standing there like, applaud me. You know what I mean? Like it's so uncomfortable. So I have to find something to do with myself for these 8 seconds that they're standing and and then when I do that, people will people will come to the stage and shake your hand and all of it, Gary, I've went from 0 to this. And it's like, I'm very excited about it. I do deserve it because I've busted my ass for 27 years doing stand-up. This did not happen to me overnight. You know what I mean? So I don't take it for granted, and I'm lucky that I love what I do, man. Shit, I love it. I love this. I
What's a
really
bigger
do.
rush? What's a bigger rush for you? You create a show, you go to the networks, you pitch it,
Stand
and then
up.
you stand up. You know where I was going with it?
Yeah, nothing equates to stand up. When I see my name comes up on the screen every time this TV show plays right now. What's the date today? Today is the 13th.
January
Is it
13th.
4th? Yesterday, the 12th, my TV show also premiered on Netflix last night. So it's up there on Netflix now. It's called That Girl Lele. It originally came from Nickelodeon where I did it, and then it got picked up by Netflix. Every time one of those shows plays, it opens up with created by David A. Arnold. First name on the thing, executive producer David A. Arnold. It's a very proud moment. It pales in comparison to the energy I get when that audience is standing there, not even after the show, in the moment when I'm in my truth and I'm sharing what's real to me and it's resonating in the room and I can feel the room is locked in, whether it's through laughter or even silence, there is no better rush than that to me. Nothing, not even close.
Well, I always say for me, every TV role, every movie role, any appearance I have on a game show or whatever, in my back of my brain, it's all going back to, I hope this brings me in some new fans for stand-up. That's always what I'm thinking about. It's like, if you're an actor, you're hoping to act to get another acting job. I'm always looking at it like this. God, I hope this role gets me some new fans on the road.
Yes,
that's how I look at it.
Yes, of course. What's so funny? It's so funny you said that. I was telling Dave Becky this, who's my manager, and I was saying, Dave, most people want to most people try to build an act, a stand-up act, so they can get a TV show, right? Because, I got an act. That's how they do it. They see me in the comedy clubs. The industry goes, this guy's got an act. Let's build a TV show around him. I want a TV show. I'm going to get my own TV show. And I want it because I want people to come see me do stand-up. It's the complete opposite. That's what I want. Because you're a comedian, Gary. We are comedians at heart. If you got a TV, it's like Seinfeld. You get a #1 show that's big, demanding, time-consuming, but the moment it's over, you back on that stage.
Ain't lying.
That's what I agree. That's why I love D.L. Hughley. Same thing. He's a comedian.
He's a road dog, boy.
It's amazing. And this guy don't got to work the way he do. He don't have to do that. But he loves it.
He almost died. And he went back on the road like a month later.
He fell out on stage and passed out and went back. It wasn't 2 weeks. Exactly. He was back.
There's no PTSD, nothing. He was just like, I got to get back out there.
Like it didn't happen. Exactly. I get it. Dude, it's the most stand-up is, and that's why when you see people who are doing stand-up or I want to be or actors, that's why my special is called It Ain't for the Weak. I tackle marriage, I tackle my pursuit in stand-up, kids, and my drug addiction. Those are the things that I talk about. And how I've been sober for 23 years and how I overcame all of these things, how I make it through my marriage, how I make it through even wanting to be a stand-up. If you want to be successful or make it through any of these things, it ain't for the weak. You can't be weak and think you're going to be successful at this shit. It don't happen.
Well, look, there's a lot of stand-ups out there say not you, I'm saying they'll say this guy stole this joke, this guy stole this joke.
Yeah.
The fact that you said a big part of your hour is how you make your marriage work, me and you have no jokes that are the same right now.
That is hilarious. You know what's so funny? This is what's hilarious. When I heard about your divorce, I texted you. I don't know if you remember the text. I said, hey, what happened? And you never text me back. And I said, oh, okay, I get it.
I wasn't there to text you back, bro. I wasn't there mentally to answer.
When I sent the text, I thought to myself, this probably wasn't the best timing for this text. And there wasn't no way to, I said, but when I see him, I'll let him know. Because here's the deal. After you've been in it long enough, we know what happened. The details are different. No, the story is the same, but the details are different. It don't matter. It don't matter. You know what I mean? And like the longer I've been in it, the longer you see other people in it, nothing ever shocks you. Nothing ever
Yeah.
makes you go, oh, I can't believe. Like, I believe all of it. I'm in here with you. When I walk out of this office, my whole house could be empty right now. She could be packing all the shit up right now. You don't
Yep.
never know. It's like,
But this is how you know you're a stand-up at the core, though. Also, when
right,
my divorce, we had already been separated when divorce got announced on TMZ and everywhere, right?
right, of course, right.
First thought through my brain is how am I going to turn this into part of my act?
Oh my God, you have
That's
to
the
because
first thing.
that's your therapy.
I mean, you want to say, I want to make sure the kids are okay. I want to make sure she's okay. I'm worried about this, and this. No, first thing was, oh, I got to get rid of those jokes about the marriage,
Yes.
and let me
Yes.
start working on these new jokes. It was just like right out the bat. I mean, people, stand-ups at the core. You love to say this is how you live your life: family first, God first, whatever. Stand-up, if we're stand-up at the core, it's first. And you hate to say
Yeah.
it because you're unhappy if you don't
Right.
have it. And you're a miserable
Oh my
human
God.
being. It makes you
Yes.
like you doing stand-up and writing and just making people laugh and being creative. People don't realize it makes you a better husband, makes you a better father, it makes you a better friend to people. You take that all away, man.
Yes.
I
You
mean,
have nothing. You have no outlet. You have nothing.
miserable.
It's your identity too.
Yeah, that's probably why a lot of athletes go into depression and when they get into
When they
retirement.
quit.
Can you imagine? Dude,
I can't.
I can't
I
imagine.
cannot. I cannot imagine. I mean, there's comedians. That's why comedians, Bob Saget, God rest his soul, just crushed me. I wrote, I
Yeah.
was a producer and wrote Fuller House with him on it. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
wow.
And he's 65, still doing stand-up. Does he need to? No. He has all the money.
Booked.
But that's what we do. When it's in you, that's what we do.
Yeah, you go out like you want, you want to go out like a Bob Saget, like maybe not
Yes.
that young,
Yes.
65,
Yes.
but
Right.
had a show the night before, just posted. You looked at his website. He was booked the rest of the year.
He was talking
And-
about where he was going to be at that later that week. Yes, of
Man.
course.
And the key word talking about hotels, he was at the Ritz or the Four Seasons. It was one or the
Yes.
other. And I'm like
Yeah, he
this.
was at the Four Seasons.
I was like,
Yes.
Bob was doing it right. Bob was doing it
Yes.
right.
That's right, man. That's how I want to go
You know what I
out.
mean?
Right after
Look.
2 hours after a show.
Come on.
In
In
my
his sleep.
In his sleep.
That is the most majestic, unless you're on stage and pass out, that's tragic. But
that's
to
horrible.
go out non-scandalous, all your peers speaking highly of you, you're at the
Yes.
Four Seasons, you're resting peacefully. Like it's just like, man,
Yes.
that's almost like God knew you were living right. Like, let me take you out peacefully like this. You know what I mean?
Yes,
You did everything
exactly.
right, Bob.
You did your time. You did your thing. Dude. Listen, I was telling somebody I'm so happy that I get to do what I love to do, even at the level that I'm doing it at.
Like I don't know your wife that well. I've met her a few times, but who was telling me everybody? Oh my God! Somebody I was working with on I think it was either Bill Bellamy, Russell Peters. I can't remember, but I was going through the divorce. We was talking about my divorce and stuff. He goes, "Yo, you want to know who the Cosbys are? Before Bill, like the real Cosbys." He goes, "David Arnold and his family." I said, "Shut up."
Who said that?
He goes,
Who said that?
Some I can't remember. It was a stand-up that I worked with recently, and they was like, "Yo, it's disgusting how happy they are." He goes,
That's
and it's not, and
hilarious.
it's not. They go, it's not fake. Like the stuff you see on the internet, it's not
It's
fake.
not-
I'm like, for real?
Well, I can say this. I can be honest with you. I can honestly say the things that people see on the internet, and I tell them this because I get this all the time. My wife goes on the road with me sometime, okay, because they love her. And I'm like, I go to certain cities. At the end of my set, when I go to pitch my T-shirts and stuff, I'll have Julie. I'll come out and have her do that part with me, right? But at the end of my set, I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, Julie Arnold. These motherfuckers lose it. Like the real talent has arrived. Like I've worked for an hour and 20 minutes before and get a great response, but when she walk out, full room standing ovation. And I'm like, I've been up here busting my ass for an hour and a half, and y'all give her a standing ovation just for walking out. Y'all ain't shit. But I tell them this all the time, Gary. What you see on social media between me and my wife and kids is real. We don't make it up. It's literally happening in time. I record it. It's not, unless you can tell it's a sketch that we do when we're like doing something for a product that we're endorsing or something. 95% of it is real. Me and my wife in the bed talking, me and the kids all is arguing about where we going for, all that's real. But it's 3.5 minutes of a 24-hour day. There are times where we like, fuck you, like, well, not like that, but you know what I mean? Where there is, you ain't shit, you ain't shit. Get out my face, fuck it, I don't care, fuck it, I don't care. Like, it's real all the way around. It ain't just one thing. It ain't just pineapples and rainbows over in this bitch. We argue, we got problems, we go through problems, we go to therapy, we do all the things. You know what I'm saying? But but I share a part that I also feel like people can relate to. And honestly, what I share of my family is what I've been talking about on stage 20 years before I ever picked up a camera and showed them. I've always been about, if you go back and anybody who knows my stand-up, it's always been about my family, my relationship, and now kids. It's always been that. That's always been my wheelhouse.
And how old are your daughters now?
16 and 14.
Oh, they're both in high school.
Yes. Well, we held them back because they're on the high end. So Anna Grace is in her sophomore year. Ashley, my 14-year-old, is in her 8th grade year. They'll both be in high school, 11th and 9th grade next year. They'll both be over there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we did that with my son. We held him back for a year.
Right. I'd rather them be the oldest than the youngest. So that's the reason why we did that. And I hear what you're saying. But yeah, man, it's. People have all the people have said it to us. We're the modern day all that with all the things they say. And I tell people on stage all the time, don't let these little 3.5 edited minutes of the day fool y'all to thinking that she ain't tried to kill me in my sleep a few times over here. Like, it's real shit happening over here. We be struggling. You know what I mean? We be over here struggling. We've been married 17 years.
Why don't you post that? For me.
That we be struggling?
For me. Yeah, why don't you post that for me, Dave?
That's going to be the post today. Yeah. I promise you.
It's dedicated to Gary Owen. You ain't the only one going through it.
This is dedicated to Gary Owens and everybody who's sick of my happiness over here. I want you to know, we struggle.
I was talking to I had Tony Rock on the podcast, and we talked about we talked about, like, he said he keeps his relationship off the internet. And he said, and I said, yeah, I think my next one, nobody will ever know who she is. You're just gonna have to see me out, because
I get that.
You know, you see people, and Tony said a lot of times, and not you, but a lot of people, they overcompensate. They're doing that for themselves, not for the social media, even though they're going through it with their significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. But they post so much. Tony's so funny. He goes, they be posting Black Love and Melon and Inspired. He goes, and they couldn't find out a week later, they're just done. Like, that's why when me and Julie did Black Love on OWN, we did that TV show. And when they asked us to do it, I was like, why? I don't want to be giving nobody, one of the things I don't do, when you watch what I do, it's never been one piece of advice about relationships. Nothing. I have nothing to give you as far as advice, except for the shit gonna be hard, figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I can tell you. What I talk about is these people will not close up the cereal top box, and the cereal that I paid $8 for is stale in 3 days. These are a disrespectful group of motherfuckers. That's what I say. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the kind of things I put up. Me and my wife, we talking about when the kids should drive, what kind of car. These things are all real. Nothing is, hey, me and my wife suggest that, in our relationship, we like to sit down and spend a day where we don't watch TV and we just read a book together and connect. We don't do none of that shit. We ain't doing none of that. We in here trying to figure it out. And I make it clear all the time. I tell people that be sending us, you're our relationship goals. I go, I need you to pick somebody else, because we not the ones. We not. Exactly.
While you see the shit that I'm talking about over here is real, there's a lot of shit that you don't see that is also real. So, and it's my stand-up. If you look at my stand-up, it's the same shit. I do the same shit. It's just, you just see the people. I'm talking about, this is what's dope. my Netflix special that I'm doing is also coming with a 15-minute documentary. Right. So
Oh,
they've
really?
been filming. Yeah. It's so you'll get 2 chapters. You'll get an hour of the stand up, then you'll get another chapter slash episode that's a 15-minute documentary. And it's basically, it follows me on the road in 3 different cities, I think New York, LA, and Tempe, Arizona. And then it goes with me in Cleveland, me and my stepfather at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, where we visit his shrine where he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, me and my dad and my stepmom, me and my mom, and then a day in the life of here in LA with me and my wife and kids. And the reason we did it, and also me going back to visit my high school where I graduated from high school at the bottom of my class, and I'm now being put on the wall of success with all of the doctors and lawyers and everything that's graduated from my school. It's all about where I came from, so you get a chance to see the shit that I'm talking about is real. And these are the people in the story, the people that inspire the stories. You know what I mean? So it's kind of dope that people get an inside look at the real place of where it comes from, because all my shit is grounded in reality. It's my life. I'm 53. I'm not trying to be 23 or 33. I'm very comfortable where I'm at. And I just play this lane, man. This is who I am. I'm not, I'm not trying to pretend like I'm something else.
Yeah, they asked us to do Black Love, and then it didn't work out. So.
Right.
I called Chris Spencer, and I said, because he wanted me and my ex
Yeah.
to be on him and
That's
his
what you
wife's.
call your ex. You don't even say her name no more now. You stop saying her name.
Hey man, not till it's final. Not till it's final.
I understand.
Anyway.
I understand. I understand.
I just
How
don't
long
want
are you married?
17 and a half.
So you're where I am. I think I'm at 18 now.
Oh, enjoy it, man. It could come at you fast, like tomorrow. I'm just kidding.
It does. Right there. I just told you when I open this door, all the shit in here might be gone. Right.
I'm like this. Look, tomorrow.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Because I found out I was in Marco Island, and I had 2 shows that night, and I got off stage at the first show, and my phone is blowing up. I'm going, what is going on? That's when I went to the internet and saw everything. I go, you got to be kidding me. TMZ got a hold of this. I thought nobody would know until it was over. So it was kind of a shock. But I remember Chris Spencer was asking me to be on his radio show with his wife, Vanessa. And I called him after everything calmed down. I go, hey, man, I guess I won't be invited to your show for a little while. The couple show.
Exactly. That's right, yes. What is it? Date night. Date night.
I won't be on season 2. I'll put it that way.
Good. Let me ask you this, Gary, because I've seen you do a lot of stand-up specials. I don't know how many you produced yourself, how many were done with networks or others, but I see you you got Black Famous out now. And you've been doing this, man. What is your ultimate goal? What do you want to do? Because you're doing all the stuff you've already done or well into doing the things that I'm just now starting to do as a comedian, that is. You know what I mean? You have a body of work. You have, what, 7 stand-up specials?
Ooh, I got more than that. Because, I got 3 or 4 on BET that are just, BET's got them. They still don't know where they're at.
They're just not out. They're just not, okay, got it. So
they aired on BET, but they aired back in the day. It was once. There wasn't no
they're
streaming.
lost archives, yeah.
Yeah,
but
they're in there, though.
Yeah, because this will make 5 for me. I did 3 independent ones, and then I have 2 that will be out on Netflix. So I get that. But it's what do you want? What do you want to do? If you could go, this is what I want my career to be.
Oh, I would, what? I would love to have the freedom of a Chappelle or almost like a Joe Rogan, Dave Chappelle, where they don't have to censor anything they say. They're not sponsor driven. They're basically people, almost like a Louis C.K. also too, where those guys, it is just all about the fans. They're not the networks and everything. They got to come to them if they want something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
They're not calling their manager hey, see if I can get this. They're yeah, I'll work with you if you like to, but I might not feel like it. But there's such freedom in that.
Yeah, what I was going to say about that, like what you were saying, Chappelle, and me and Chris Spencer were talking about this the other day, and I was talking about this to other people. Because Dave has money and he is so popular, and he's not tethered to any sponsors for the most part. You know what I mean? He's a free spirit. He can do and say what he wants. You can't cancel him. The only way you can cancel somebody is take something from them. They could cancel Louis C.K. because they took his TV shows. They took all of those things away. And
But
that
he's
in
back.
their mind was canceled. Exactly.
They
No,
thought
it's
they
not-
thought they canceled him.
Well, nothing permanent. Let me say that. You can't permanently cancel anybody. But they were able to put a hiccup in his stride
Yeah.
because of he's tethered to things, a TV show, like Kevin. Kevin is anchored down to everything. He's got to be squeaky clean. Or Chase and Nike and Tommy John and all the things go away. You know what I mean? So you have to become a safer version of who you were to navigate this space. Dave Chappelle don't have to do that because he got money, and wherever he puts his name up on the wall, thousands are going to come and pay thousands of dollars to see what he has to say. And so he's good. He's fine. You know what I mean? So I feel
Well,
like
it's like what you're saying with Dave. Like my last special,
Yeah.
Black Famous.
yes.
We had to take. You know, I did 2 shows, and an hour air, but I probably did an hour 30, and they literally had to like call me and be like, we got to take this out. We got to take this out.
Yeah.
We got to take this out, just because of they were afraid of offending somebody, and I was just like, so
Yes.
I hate that. That's the one part of business I hate, because I'm going, oh my God, I'm not malicious when I'm
Yes.
talking about people. There's no malicious intent.
Exactly. Yes,
You know?
exactly. Exactly. But they don't know that. We live in this world today where everybody's worried about what's said, what's not said. Listen, I got a joke, and I'm not going to even say what it is right now because I don't want to put a target on the back of the joke when it comes out in this next special. But there's one saying that when I was doing it, my assistant and a comedian that I was working with said, you know, this could be taken the wrong way. And I was like, but that's not what I mean at all. And I had to go, how do I make it clear to soften this? But I hated the fact that I had to do that because we live in a world where they flip everything.
Yeah. So if you're gonna ask me what I want, obviously
Yes.
I like to do arenas. I want to be the biggest stand-up out there.
Okay,
like,
got it.
Like most
I love
stand-ups.
that.
But you also I want the freedom of, I'd rather take the freedom over sponsorship. I'll put it that way.
Love it.
That I could just say whatever I want, and I don't have to worry about if I get backlash, it's not gonna be a hiccup like Louis C.K. It's just you keep it moving. And I ain't gotta respond if I don't want to. I've learned that during a divorce. Because I
Yes.
haven't said a word on social
Yes.
media about my divorce. I
Right,
go, and
exactly.
everyone's telling me, dude, you're basically taking L's and you're getting talked shit about. We want to hear your side. And I go, for what?
It don't matter.
I don't need to. And
You're
what I
fanning the
realized,
flames.
the best heckle I've ever gotten in my life was when my divorce got announced. I was, the week after that, I was at the Baltimore Comedy Factory.
Yeah.
So I am hiding from a process server.
Okay.
This is so funny. I'm at the Four Seasons under an alias.
Uh-huh.
They are giving me the employee entrance. So I'm going underneath the hotel. When I pull in, I go under. I park
Yes.
where the staff parks.
Yes.
It's an elevator that's not on the
You go up
grid.
the shaft elevator. Yes.
Come out through these 2 doors where the maids come out, and my room's right there. So they were on board with me, right? So I'm hiding basically, and I spent 5 days before I got on stage again. So I'm on
Yeah.
stage, and first time I had talked about my divorce, and it was soft because I can't talk about it like I want to. I still can't. But one lady in the back goes, "I love you, little cheating ass." I just went. I had to hear that.
I love your little what?
I love you, little cheating ass. That's what she said.
Nigga, do you know how fucking funny that is?
Do you know how I needed that at that
It was-
moment? Oh my God. Let me know everything's going to be okay. Everything's
Yes.
fine. Because I'm reading everything on the internet like, I ain't shit, da-da-da. I mess with this person, mess with this person, mess with this person. I'm going, oh my God. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I didn't hear
yes.
anything good for a week on the internet. So here I am worried about ticket sales. Ticket sales are fine. Didn't affect that. And
Yes.
then it was a lull in between jokes and a lady in the very back. Just the
Yes.
way she said it too. I love you, little cheating ass. I was like,
Yes.
you don't
So,
know
do you
how
tell
bad I
the
need to hear
story
that.
on stage?
Nah, that's the first time I ever
Not
told
yet.
it.
No,
Nah, the first time I ever told it.
this is the funny. When I tell you, when you get ready to start talking about it on stage, which you will, this is a great. This is great because it's not just that. It's that you realize I needed that to give me hope that I'm going to get through it. Like
Right.
that, to me, that's the best part of the joke. The joke is always great. What's great about jokes to me is when you can connect a joke back to a real human emotion and feeling and or insecurity that you have. It makes the joke, it roots it, it makes it even fucking stronger and funnier to people. Because like when you said, oh, I needed that. I knew I was gonna make it through and everything was gonna be all right. I went,
Yeah.
wow, that's a great fucking joke.
Man.
It's really a great, because the shit that should make us be like, ooh, is actually the stuff, especially comedians, that we need to be like, yeah, that was great.
Man.
Thanks a lot.
I was good the rest of the week. Because I was a little nervous going on stage. Like, am I going to get this wrath from black women coming after me? Like, you go through all these worst case scenarios in your head. And
Yes.
and I'm an overthinker as it is. So I'm overthinking everything. What if this happened?
Yes.
And I'm avoiding a process server. In the process of this,
Yes.
my
Yes.
eyes are on a swivel. Like, I don't want nobody coming to the stage with papers.
Yes.
Like, yo, my head was everywhere. And that one little heckle, I was like, man, I was in a better frame of mind. I went back to the Four Seasons, locked myself in the room the next day. I was good. I was like this,
Yes.
everything's okay. Everything's going to be okay in the end,
Yes.
All right, man. I don't want to keep you too much longer. Filming your Netflix special, It Ain't For The Week, January 29th, Cleveland.
Hannah Theater in Cleveland, Ohio.
Hannah Theater,
Yes.
Cleveland, Ohio. Is there a
IG.
website or link that people can?
Yeah, if you go to davidarnold.com, you can see all my dates. I just added 16 more cities after that. So we're doing more cities after the special. You can buy, for the Netflix taping, you got to be fully vaccinated, proof of full vaccination, and COVID tested that they're paying for right before to get into the theater. And everybody's got to be in mask because that's what we had to do in order for this to go forward. It's not the ideal thing. I wanted to see people's faces, but out here on this road, I've been looking at a lot of masks anyway. So I'm excited about putting it in the can. And yeah, man, people go and buy the tickets. I know that when I last checked, being 2.5 weeks out, we are 75% sold out in both shows already. You know what I'm saying?
This will take it over the top.
I'm there. This will do it. This will be it, Gary. Listen, if I look at one empty seat out there on January 29th,
Look,
I'm gonna be like, that goddamn Gary Owens. This is his fault.
I'm telling you.
Man,
it's not going to cost you tickets.
This is what's crazy. And people, last time I was on your podcast, we talked about it, and this time I did not. Is that it was dope to meet you when I was already doing stand-up like 2 years, and you came and you met me, and you were like, you saw me somewhere, I don't remember, and you said, I want to do stand-up, and I just gave you the broad strokes of what you needed to do stand-up.
Yeah.
And you went out on your own. And I didn't see or talk to you for a couple of years. And then when I got to LA, you were murdering the scene. You were getting in places that I was still standing outside of. And I'm like, hey, I introduced this guy to. And it was great to watch somebody who loved it. And this is what when it's your calling and it's your thing, it just happens.
Yeah.
Because the moment me and you talked about it, dude, it's like you took that meeting, that information I gave you, and you never looked back.
Yeah.
And it's been
You
it's been dope to see, man. It's been inspiring because every time I see you, I always throughout your journey, host of Comic View, all this shit, I would go, I gave this guy like the first piece of information of how to even go out here. If he can do it, I can do it. I got
yeah.
to keep going. You have always been one of the carrots that have dangled in front of me in my career because
Oh man, I
it's made
appreciate
me,
that.
yeah, man, it's made me go, this can happen. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
your it's funny. It was your ex-wife that
Yes.
was my doing my paperwork for my knee surgery.
Yes.
And
In the Navy.
that's
We're in the Navy.
yeah, and I saw all the newspaper clippings in her little cubicle. And
Yes.
I was like, "Who's that?" And she goes, "That's my husband." I go, "Is he a stand-up?" She goes, "Yeah." I go, "I'm a stand-up. I have
That's
never been on
right.
stage." But in my brain, I
You
always
were.
identify as a stand-up. I ain't lying, Dave. There were times in high school, and I'm living in a trailer park. I got nothing. I'm in a small town.
Yeah.
Most people don't get out. I used to have feelings of like, I would just get so calm because I'd be like, I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be a stand-up. I'm gonna be okay. I don't
Yes.
know how, but I'm gonna make it. And even I would like look around the room and be like, don't you guys know who's in the room right now? Like, Gary Owen
Right.
is in the room.
Right. Right.
This is like 11th grade in high school, looking around going, you guys have no idea who's in your presence, do you?
That's
Like in my brain.
so great. I got to be honest with you. I've had a little bit of that in my life too, because we see
Yep.
ourselves as no one else does.
Yeah, for real. There was a guy on my high school quarterback who was a great quarterback, ended up going to Miami of Ohio to be a quarterback, not Ben
Yeah.
Roethlisberger, but a different one. We were at some party our senior year, and this girl goes, "Hey, are you gonna forget about us when you go to the pros and you're in the NFL and everything? You're all famous." And I literally, I'm on the other side of this girl. I go, "Why are you asking him? I'm the one that's gonna be famous."
That's hilarious. See, you said shit out loud. I don't think I've ever said nothing out loud like
But
that.
here's the
But that's
dopest part about that story is the
Yeah.
quarterback, my high school quarterback, looked at me and said, "I can see it. You're funny, Gary. You always funny." He didn't take it as a knock or hate. He just went, "I can see it. You funny." He didn't even like, "Man, who is this guy?" Because I was a joke. I was half joke, but I was half serious. Like I came in like
Yes.
kidding around, like, "Why are you asking him? I'm the one that's gonna be famous." So it took it as a joke, but even the quarterback was like, "I can see it." That's why I give back so much to my high school because I don't have the story of everyone telling me, "No, you ain't gonna make it." Everyone I hung out with, all my friends, classmates, teachers, they all said, and they could have been thinking I'm bullshitting, "I can see you on TV. I can see you doing that. I can see you being a stand-up." They all
Yeah,
said it, and I would bring it up.
I got to be honest with you. I got the same thing from people mine came because I didn't say it out loud like you did coming up, but I did know that I wanted to do something different. I didn't start talking about being stand up until I guess the end of my military career, at the very end. You know what I mean? I was 26 and I would be like, I could do stand, I felt it because I tried it once at 18, never went back again because it was horrible and it was nothing like what we imagined it'll be. We imagined
I
it's
know.
going to be raw. But you know what I mean?
No,
We
you
imagined
think
it.
you think I'm about to get discovered tonight. Like now
Exactly.
they're gonna be like,
They're about,
"Where's that guy been my
yes.
whole life? Where's he been?"
You think that they're going to hang on to your every word. The room is going to be packed and they're going to be cheering. My first time on stage was in an open mic, and it was 4 people in the room and me, and they looked at me for 3 minutes, which is the longest 3 minutes in the world, like I was speaking Russian. Like it was the worst shit I've ever felt as I went home. So I didn't talk about being a stand-up out loud anymore, but I did keep writing down all of my funny thoughts for the next 10 years, and I put them in a shoebox. And I never even said out loud to myself, one day I'm going to go try this stuff out. I just wrote it down and put it in a box and wrote it down and wrote it down. And then one day when I finally did it, how we start getting public, we start getting a public name, your friends and people, especially because of social media, people you went to school with, they find you. All my friends have found me, and all of them have said, I'm not surprised this is who you are because you were always funny.
Yeah.
I never said out loud like you did, I'm gonna be famous. I'm gonna be the next, I don't know why you guys talking. I never did that. But just who I was, people, when they realize what I ended up doing, nobody is shocked that this is
Yeah.
my reality. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's watching you, dude, is dope. I respect your craft. You are so funny. And there's not a lot of people, comedians, that we will sit and watch. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it.
I will sit and watch you
appreciate it.
work. I will sit and watch you do your thing. I respect the journey. I respect the respect you have and the desire for the art of stand-up, man. It's so dope to watch. And I'm very glad that you asked me to come on here again, man. It made me feel good. It made me feel nice. So I appreciate that. I really do.
Kev didn't call me back. So
Kev just called you, so you got to go now. So this may or may not air, David, but I'll send you a clip of it.
No, like honestly, like the podcast has been around for a couple of years, but guests have only been for about a year and a half. And I took 7 months off when the divorce hit. Like I just couldn't come to California. So I couldn't do it.
Right.
So now that I came back, I feel like I can call whoever I want, and it's not like they were just on, because I took 7, 8 months off. So I don't, I'm like, man, I'm back to the beginning of my Rolodex. I'm having return guests now. So those people that I know will talk and have a good story. And I'm following you on social media, so I knew your special was getting ready to film. So I was like, okay, do I want to wait till it comes out or before he films? I said, I like what we're talking about. I like the journey more than the finished product. You know?
Yes.
Like, that's why I want to talk to you before you filmed it. So I'm glad you was able to come on.
Me too, man. I'm very excited about doing it. Like I said, Cleveland, Ohio, January 29th, the Hannah Theater. And I'm so excited about doing the special. And there's nothing better than knowing you're ready. And not just knowing you're ready, but knowing the day after you film it, 45% of your set on the next dates will change immediately because I already got other shit to do.
I do that.
Crazy.
I do that when it airs. When my special airs, they're put to bed and it's time for the new hour. And it's choppy, but you're excited to get into the clubs again. Like your juices get going again. I don't those stand-ups that do the same jokes for like 10 years, I'll be looking at them like, aren't you bored? Aren't you bored with that joke?
I can't take it. Dude, I got to be honest with you. Me putting this special in the can right now in January, the timing of it could not be better because I am at the place where I want it out of my head. Yeah, I want it out. Exactly. I want it out of my head. I want to make a room. It's like you get a new a playlist and you play that shit to death again and again and again and you love it, and now you're like, okay, it's time for a new playlist. And that's where I'm at. I'm right at it's the perfect timing of being ready to give this to the world, give birth to this thing, and then like start working on another hour.
I almost said a joke that would have got me in trouble when you said that.
Yeah, I know you did. Man, see, and the fact that we got to think about this is bullshit. Especially because we live in a world where we are the worst group of people that we've ever been. On TikTok, beating up old people, like all of the shit that is the highlight of the horrible people that this world can be. For us to act so sensitive about a lot of shit. They used to say nigga on TV, on ABC. You know what I'm saying? And now you can't say, you can't say a certain, you got to refer to, people of color, LGBTQ. You got to be so sensitive about everything or people will lose it. And it's crazy to have to tiptoe around some of the things. But the good thing about it is when you're a comedian, we always going to find a way to the joke. If we going to find a way.
How about that?
They need us. They need us.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on. I'll have you back after the special's out, whenever that is.
Let's do it, man.
And
I appreciate
whatever.
David A. Arnold on Instagram. David A. Arnold. You got to put in the A. I would love to come in the studio.
David A. Arnold.
You got to.
We have rapid tests, David.
I will make sure that
you're safe here.
I'll be there next time.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Love
Thanks,
you, boy.
David.